Verse 29, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, being filled. This signifies that the vices here exposed were not tempered with virtues, but were alone and uncontrolled, occupying the mind and heart even to overflowing. Unrighteousness. When this word in the original is taken in a limited sense, it signifies injustice. It is often used for iniquity in general, as in the 18th verse. Some understand it here in the latter sense as a general word which includes all the different particulars that follow. There is no reason, however, why we should not understand it as one species of the evils which are here enumerated, and confine it to its specific meaning, that is, injustice. This was the public crime of the Romans, who built their empire on usurpation and rapine. Fornication. Cicero speaks of fornication as unblameable, as a thing universally allowed and practiced, which he had never heard was condemned either in ancient or modern times. Here it includes all the violations of the seventh commandment, and is not to be confined to the distinctive idea which the term bears in our language. Wickedness. This refers to the general inclination to evil that reigned among the heathens and made them practice and take pleasure in vicious and unprofitable actions. Covetousness. The original word strictly signifies taking the advantage, overreaching in a bargain, having more than what is just in any transaction with our neighbor. Of this, covetousness is the motive. This was universal among rich and poor, and was the spring of all their actions. Maliciousness denotes a disposition to injury and revenge. Full of envy, Tacitus remarks that this was the usual vice of the villages, towns, and cities. Murder was familiar to them, especially with respect to their slaves, whom they caused to be put to death for the slightest offenses. Debate, strife about words for vain glory and not truth. Deceit was common to them all, and exemplified in their conduct and conversation, as it is said in chapter 3, verse 13. Malignity. Though the word in the original, when resolved into its component parts, literally signifies bad custom or disposition, yet it generally signifies something more specific, and is with sufficient propriety rendered malignity, which is a desire to hurt others without any other reason than that of doing evil to them, and finding pleasure in their sufferings. The definition of the term as quoted from Aristotle by Dr. McKnight seems true rather as a specification than as a definition. It is a disposition, he says, to take everything in the worst sense, unquote. No doubt malevolence is inclined to this, but this is only one mode of discovering itself. Whisperers. Dr. McKnight errs in saying that the original word signifies those who secretly speak evil of persons when they are present, unquote. The word does not import that the speaker whispers lest the person against whom he speaks, being present, should hear. The person spoken against may as well be absent. It refers to that sort of evil speaking which is communicated in secret and not spoken in society. It is called whispering not from the tone of the voice, but from the secrecy. It is common to speak of a thing being whispered, not from communicated in a low voice, but from being privately spoken to individuals. It refers to sowing divisions. It is one of the most frequent and injurious methods of calumny, because on the one hand the whisperer escapes conviction of falsehood, and on the other the accused has no means of repelling the secret calumny.